Get ready for non-stop fun with FlipSlide, the ultimate electronic handheld game that'll keep you hooked for hours. Compact and portable, FlipSlide is the perfect companion for gaming on the go. Whether you're at home or on the move, the excitement never stops. With a range of addictive games and puzzles to choose from, FlipSlide offers endless entertainment for all ages. From quick reflex challenges to brain-bending puzzles, there's something for everyone. Challenge yourself to beat your high score, compete with friends and family to see who can master FlipSlide first. FlipSlide. Flip, slide, and win with the ultimate handheld gaming experience. Available now from Moose Games. Get ready.
Now, Red Solo Cup is the best receptacle for barbecues, tailgates, fairs, and festivals, and you, sir, do not have a pair of testicles if you prefer drinking from glass. Hey, Red Solo Cup is cheap and disposable. In 14 years, they are decomposable, and unlike my home, they are not foreclosable. Freddie Mac kissed my ass. Woo! Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Hey, 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 huh?
Don't want to eat candy. But the parasites in me want the candy. I don't want to drink liquor. I don't like liquor. But the parasite, the demon in me, it wants the liquor. Don't want to eat candy. But the parasites in me want the candy. I don't want to drink liquor. I don't like liquor. But the parasite, the demon in me, it wants the liquor. Don't want to eat.
I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you listen. I can tell it this. Not trying to be romantic. I'll hit it from the back just so you don't get attached.
Here are the 4 things that nobody told me before diving into my curly hair journey. Number 1 is you need a great wash routine for repair. The Aussie Miracle Repair line repair signs of damage makes my hair look so healthy. Number 2 is that mousse specifically for curls exists and it is so much fun to use. So this specific mousse smells so good, and my favorite thing about it is how it tames the frizz.
Question, what type of nut do I need in order to catch a fucking break? And where do I get that?
Every 10 years, you were expected to go to a meeting you have already been to.
Question, what type of nut do I need in order to catch a fucking break? And where do I get that? Amazon? Question, what type of nut do I need in order to catch a fucking break? And where do I get that? Amazon?
Every 10 years, you were expected to go to a meeting you have already been to. One attended by several future and younger versions of yourself, each version separated by 10-year intervals. The youngest you is 10, the oldest 90. You relive the same meeting, just each time from a different angle. Year 10. I entered a room with 9 sets of chairs that were set out to make a circle. On each one of them sat a person with a signs in front of them with number that went from 10 to 90. It seemed like I was the last person to come. They all looked at me as I went down to take my seat in the number 10 chair. The man with the 40 number started off the meeting with complaining, shouting and starting angrily saying a lot of words that I didn't understand. He seemed to be especially angry at 30. They both started arguing and 30 ended up leaving. 60 and 70 tried to talk him into calming down, but he only got angrier and then slammed the door as he went outside. The room was full of silence after that, and then 20 got up and said that he was busy and that he had better things to do than waste time here, right before leaving the room. After that, the other people in the room started talking about some stuff like marriage and will to live, but I wasn't really interested in adult talk. I daydreamed about my Game Boy that I left behind at home. I wanted to go back home to play Pokemon. I dozed off for the rest of the meeting, but when my mind came back I realized the only ones that were left were 80, 90 and I. Now that I looked at 90, I noticed that he had tubes attached all around his body and that his chair was actually a wheelchair. 80 stood up and came towards me and opened his palm to reveal a piece of candy, which he then gave to me. He patted my head and said as he started coughing, "You are a good boy, Isaac. Do what you wish with your life, for it is the only one you have." Then he started walking toward the door. "I want to go play Pokemon on my Game Boy." He looked back at me and smiled. "Go do that then." Then he walked out. I was now left with 90, who was in the wheelchair. He seemed like he was too old and tired to talk, but then when I stood up to walk out he whispered, "I play Pokemon with my Game Boy. Want to play together?" "Yay, sure," I replied, a bit creeped out. "But I left mine at home. I promise to play with you the next time we meet." "Promise?" he said as his breathing was visibly becoming louder. "Yes." He seemed content with that and I went out the room looking forward to playing more Pokemon when I got home. Year 20. I entered the room, actually more like dragged into if I were to be honest, as my final exams was only days away and I was already behind on my study material. I want to get this over with as soon as possible and go back to studying. I looked around to see that the only one left to come was me from 10 years ago. I waited a few more minutes before I decided it was not worth wait. As I started to stand up, the door creaked and my younger self entered the room. Soon the meeting began. I could hear 40 giggling to himself as he was staring at 30 without even blinking once. Look at you. All lively, feeling like you are at the top of the world. 40 said to 30. Little do you know your fucking wife is cheating behind your back. He continued as he laughed to himself. How dare you call Margaret such slurs? 30 replied.